In this clip, we're going to make some mini monsters from paper. For this job, we need some card, stapler, felt tip pens and scissors. First of all, we get the card that we're going to make them from. And with a felt tip pen, start at one corner and draw a nice big curve right to the other corner. So it's like a big lumpy hill. If you look at it that way, it's like a letter C. It's an easy shape to cut, and I think you can do it without having anything to draw around. I'm just going to cut all the way around the hill, and the spare bits I'll keep because they will come in handy, I hope. That's what I've cut out. That's going to be the monster's body. I've got another piece of card, folded it in two, and what I'm going to draw on this is a letter M. M for mummy, M for monster. Nice and big, so it's going up, down, up, down. There's the M, but I needed to do it again a little bit smaller underneath. Up, down, down. So that's a capital M, nice and big. And you need to cut that out, and because it's double, you'll be cutting out two at the same time. So we've cut out two big letter M's. These are going to be the monster's legs and feet. To fit the monster's legs and feet on, we need to look at the shape and fold it very gently in two, that way. And do a chop with a stop at the front and a chop with a stop at the back. You might need a grown-up to help you so you don't go wrong with that. So there's a slot there and a slot there. And this is what happens. The letter M goes through the slot. First through there. Have to ease it round carefully. Make sure its knees don't get stuck halfway. When you've got it to halfway, you can fold the M in two, just gently, a little bit. Now the other legs, through the slot at the other end. There they go. To halfway down. That's the difficult bit, getting the knee through, but just give it a little bit of persuasion and it should fit. Fold that. Now let's check to see if this monster will stand up. Oh yes, he's standing all right. He's looking very fierce. So go back to the scrap bits you had before and choose something that you think looks like a monster head. I can see a bit of a monster head on that already. So I'm going to cut that off. Ooh, do you want a nose that? Oh, he could have a nose that big, but he might look a bit too strange. I think I'm just going to trim that off a bit. And that will go on there. Now, if you've got a good stapler and a steady hand, you can staple it on so that one leg of the staple ends up on the head side and one on the body side. And if you give it a good squeeze there, where that stapler is, you can move the head. So you can make your monster's head move up and down a little bit. That's it. Now then, feet. Each one of these legs can bend forward a little bit. That helps him to stand more easily. He won't fall over. And each one of those legs that you've bent forward a little bit, you can do two cuts in, and then he has some toes, just like you have some little monster toes. There they are. And then along the back of the monster, to make him look very interesting, you're going to have to hold it steadily and find the top of his head and just do some chops and stops, all the way along the back of his head, then all the way along his back. Chops and stops. And then what you do is fold one down and one that way, one that way, one that way, all the way along his back. And that'll give him a lovely wavy crest, a bit like a dinosaur sort of monster. Draw him some eyes and a nose, a zigzaggy mouth, and maybe he's a spotty monster. I'm going to put some spots on this one. And then he should be able to stand up and go and meet the other monsters. Hiya, I'm the new monster on the block. And that's how to make a monster who's not too mean.